What's up, my dudes? Valk here. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys on how to stack buffs properly. I made one video about it before, but it seems like a lot of people did not see it because I uploaded it before the game went live. So today I'm going to make another video. Now I want to make it very clear. In this video I'm going to be talking about certain bugs that are going to be fixed, so this is not going to hold up over time, but the method will. There's certain things that I do want to talk about that are basically, they're slowly becoming public knowledge, so I don't see any reason to gatekeep it anymore, but basically there's some bugs that are really happening that are kind of making in-game very wacky. So the very first bug I want to talk about before I go into showcasing some stuff is a Mythic ascension bug. This is a bug that basically has it so anytime you mythically ascend a buff or money unit, right now they are doing 2 times the amount of value they are supposed to. For example, Steve, he is right now 250% with the golden apple at base, so right now he's applying a 500% golden apple. And the same thing with Nami. If Nami is Bulma, if Bulma is normally meant to generate 1,000 coins per wave, right now she's generating 2,000, and then that 2,000 gets plugged in CEO hat, and you can see why the game seems very wacky at the moment. Whenever that bug is fixed, the game is going to change entirely. There's going to be a lot more balance, will probably make a lot more sense then. But right now things are very wacky because it's very easy to reach these peak points because the buffs are very overtuned because of the Mythic Ascension bug, and so is the gold generation whenever you actually mythically ascend your money units. So that's the first bug that we're going to see today. And then I'm going to show you guys another bug that is basically same unit buff stacking is essentially what the other bug is. So like I said, these bugs are going to get fixed. I don't know how old this video is when you're watching it. I really don't. But these bugs I'm showing, I'm mentioning them because they're going to get fixed. So you're not going to see the same results I'm going to show here today. So we're going to go ahead and start with a Bulma. We're going to set Whitebeard way in the back whenever we actually get around to it. This is floor 89, by the way, of the challenge rift. This is a very hard floor. Very high up there, and it's going to be incredibly difficult to actually complete, but we should be fine simply because we are going to do funny shenanigans that are going to allow for all sorts of stuff. And now, I told you guys before about the best way for gold generation is the bottom path Bulma. You can see you do that, and then once the wave pops, you go ahead and get more gold. So now we're going to go ahead and put down Whitebeard, and before we do anything else, we're going to put down one Nami right here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to put down another Nami right here. And this is whenever it's going to get funny, because this is how you buff stack as well. You can see I have this Nami here. Inside her range is only Whitebeard, so this RNG targeting is only going to be targeting Whitebeard. Same with this Nami. Whenever the wave passes, I'm going to be able to move this Nami into upgrade this Nami's range to include Whitebeard by upgrade 3. So then we're going to be able to reach some really funny stuff. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to full send this. And now you guys can see Whitebeard's range now compared to what it normally was. He has insane range now with really high DPS capabilities because we have the double Nami buff on him. Now, like I said, if you guys are watching this at a later period in time, this is currently a bug. The same unit is not supposed to stack. So it's going to get fixed eventually. But this is what I mean with buff stacking. You guys can see this Nami just has Whitebeard in range. This Nami just has Whitebeard in range. So together they are able to just buff the ever-living hell out of Whitebeard and full send on him and make him really good. So here we're going to go ahead and do this. Upgrade this again so we can get our damage down, because you guys can see these are some very thick boys here. At 400k HP on this guy, he might actually mess up the targeting. Okay, no, we actually got him. Alright, good. So you guys can see how much HP these guys have coming through and how crazy Challenge Rift can get. Here we have a 1.7 million HP enemy coming down the line. We're going to go ahead and do this so we start attacking faster. Yeah, it gets really wacky out here in Challenge Rift. You got to get your units ramped up very quickly. We might put Steve down just for the death node. Actually, no, Steve is going to mess up the buffs. So yeah, we can't do that. Almost did it. Alright, so we're going to do this. One more hit and we should be good. Yeah. There we go. And now we're cooking. Alright, so I do want to try to put Steve down for the full AoE, but I think he's got it. Not the full AoE, the death node. Almost messed up the buffs. Almost through there by placing that Steve. because you guys do want to go ahead and make sure you are maximizing your buff range on this stuff. So now we're going to go ahead and full send Whitebeard to make sure we have as much attack into him as possible to be able to go ahead and do this. And then we're going to go from there. You guys can see how chunky the enemies get at these higher floors. 1.3 million HP enemy at wave 6. You're going to need to utilize a lot of stuff to be able to push really high into higher challenge floors, because challenge rift gets really difficult, and I'm only at prestige 1 right now. I imagine I'm going to need the prestige much higher. Can we get much higher? But I imagine I'm going to prestige so many more times to be able to go ahead and actually, like, you know, reach some crazy levels. But yeah, we have just our Bulma here. We're going to make sure to move both of our Namis here in a minute. But first, like I said, we just need to make sure we get Whitebeard fully maxed out, because then that's going to increase his range, and that's going to allow him to get really silly. So now we are going to really set up some buff optimization. So we're going to sell this Nami. We're going to place this Nami here with Steve to do Steve's range. You kind of want to go like, you see here, you touch it with the edge of the red circle, then you go 1, and then 2, and about right here will be Steve's range, maybe a little bit forward. And that's kind of how you go with the range. You kind of got to memorize how much range these units have. You can see here, now Steve's going to be able to hit him with the golden apple, doggo, and you're going to want to memorize how much range he has. Now you can see Steve is buffing his attack all the way to 579,000. Very fat attack stat now. And now we're going to go ahead and take this Nami, and we're going to stop abusing, and we're going to go over here, and I'm going to show you guys what an actual buff setup would look like. We're going to actually put Nami way away, because Nami unironically buffs her own range to a crazy degree. Not like this. This is double buff stacking on herself. This will fix itself in a second, but Nami is going to buff her own range to a crazy degree like that, and then this will fix as well in a second. Okay, now that Steve's fixed, I'm going to go ahead and place down a Sakura. Before I place down a Sakura, I kind of want to put down a Sanji so I can see Sanji's range, so we can stack buffs from different sources. So now we're going to let Sanji get buffed by Nami. Now that Sanji's buffed by Nami, we can go ahead and do this and get that buff rolling. Now we can see Sanji's range is here. We can say Steve's here ranges out of this, so now we're going to go ahead and put a Sakura right here, which will be out of range of everybody. So now we're going to go ahead and put a Sakura right here at the bottom. Sanji can't reach Sakura there. Only person who can reach Sakura is Nami, but Nami's full AoE buff, so it doesn't matter. And now we have Steve. So the 2 single target buffers can only target Whitebeard and nobody else. I believe so. I don't think Bulma's in your range, is she? She is. We'll fix that in a second. So we do this, and then we go over here and sell Bulma. So now that we sold Bulma, you guys can see Whitebeard is now at a million attack stat. 1.079 million attack stat with 73.6 range, and he's able to hit very hard. And this is how buffing is supposed to look, but keep in mind also the Mythic Ascension bug. If you have a mythically ascended buffer, they are going to be giving you way too much buff value, 2 times buff value what they're supposed to. So a lot of you guys aren't going to get the same results as I am whenever you're looking at this. But yeah, this is what it's supposed to be. You're not using any of the same unit stacking buffs, or you're not using any of the same unit stacking bugs. This is what it's going to look like for you. It's going to be really cool. And you're going to be able to full send your DPS to absolutely insane degrees and make them really damn strong. So now that we have our DPS full sent, we're going to go ahead and actually put down a Jotaro. We're going to max out Jotaro for his time stop and his big slow here. And we're going to put another one right here. Yeah, right here. We're going to put another Jotaro, max out his time stop, and then we're going to go here. This is why I shinied my Jotaro with double range traits. That way he has the ability to go ahead and constantly be a really solid slow. So now we are just going to be cooking constantly. You guys can see how impactful the slow is on separating certain units from the pack, so you're able to go ahead and start dealing DPS to other units early. And yeah, you guys can see how tanky these enemies are. Like, it's no joke how tanky these enemies are. We're at 13 million HP on the Colossal Serpents. You're going to have to really, like I said, optimize everything possible if you want to try to reach Challenge Rift Floor 100. You're going to have to optimize like absolute crazy to be able to reach it, but yeah. Anyways, that's basically the video. Let me show you guys how much HP the boss has when he comes out. and why it's important for you to utilize all these crazy buffs and full send really, really hard on these buffs to be able to do it, because you kind of just want one DPS, one like support / CC unit to go ahead and slow and buy you time, and then you want to try to full send on your one DPS and make them as strong as humanly possible, basically. Yeah, this is going to take a second, because these waves at the end take a minute to get all the units out, or all the enemies out, because they are just so chonky, and look how thick the waves are too. Like, look how many enemies are coming out of the wave. Yeah, it's kind of nutty. Is that, how much HP is that? 2.8 million HP. Yeah, it's kind of wacky how much damage we can get, but I'm not even using an epic artifact. As you guys know, I made a video on it yesterday. Epic artifacts are insane ways to boost your damage right now, so you can definitely get up to what I'm doing if you just use your buffs properly, use your epic artifacts, buff stack correctly, and to go over buff stacking one more time, because that's the whole point of the video. 23 million HP, nice. You can see here Steve, and then we have this, nobody's into range. This, she's full AoE, doesn't matter. But for these two, you can see the only person in the range is Whitebeard. It's like you're making a Venn diagram, if that makes sense. You're just trying to do something to that degree. So, we're going to wait on Whitebeard, and then we're going to go ahead and time stop. Alright, and now we, deleted. I don't know what happened there. I guess in Whitebeard crit or something. I don't know. Anyways, gone. Easy. Thank you guys for watching as always. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.